Oh, feels so good out here. So good. Ah, it's beautiful. I want to be in the world as it is as myself. That's how I describe the work of individuation. I don't want to have to change 18,000 different conditions around me to have a good day. I don't want to have to convince 25 people to do something other than what they're doing in order for me to feel hopeful about life. No, it's not realistic for me to imagine that I won't be affected by the conditions around me, but I want to hold as an ideal the work, the idea, the possibility that I can find a way to create my own sense of safety, self-worth, vitality, willingness inside, and bring that to my interactions and my projects and my conversations and my XYZs. When this idea first occurred to me, honestly, I found it heartbreaking. I found it devastating because it seemed impossible that I could be in the world as it is, as myself, and survive. It seemed like there were too many conditions and systems and realities that were designed to take me out, to minimize me, to diminish me, to demoralize me. And I thought, how is this gonna work? So I cried, and I allowed myself to feel the grief of what I was seeing around me. And I began to normalize the process of feeling little by little. I learned how important it is to have a relationship with my sensations and my I learned that it's important to have a relationship with my sensations. They're happening all the time. I'm not always aware of them, but sometimes I am. And when I am I willing to allow them to exist? Sometimes when I talk about this work, it sounds like I'm saying you're supposed to just stop everything and just, observe your body all day. And that's not exactly what I'm saying. Although I do believe it's really useful to pay attention to what you're sensing. When it occurs to you and when you're noticing, you might be, for example, noticing the sensations in your body because you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling intense feelings, or you're feeling discomfort, or you're feeling particularly wonderful. There may be a prompt, an impetus, a kind of factor, a kind of initiating factor for the act of noticing. When that happens, let yourself feel, even if it's just for 10 seconds. When that happens, notice the muscles in your face and let go a little bit. When you notice, notice. When you notice yourself feeling tense or on edge, relax your shoulders. Engage with your body. Engage with your sensations. When you can, when it feels natural, when it feels useful, you're in charge. In doing that, you become more aware. In doing that, you're practicing being present. In doing that, you're practicing noticing that you have choices. And in doing that, you become more free. You start to see little traces of outlines of, oh, is that a door? Can I walk through that door? Let me get a little closer. And you see what's there. You hear a little more, you notice a little more, you see a little more metaphorically when you are willing to feel, when you are willing to notice, when you are willing to be present. So do what you can when you can, and know that that's enough. So if we haven't met before, I'm Brigitt Thompson, and I'm here to remind you that you're a person. I'm here to remind you that your inner life matters and that you can make room for it. I like that idea of making room for the inner world. I like that idea of moving beyond just conversations about what you did and what you're about to do. And I love the idea of other conversations being woven through, like, how do I feel about this? Some people don't want to talk about that, but this video is for those who need to talk about that. Here we are together. We need to talk about that.